This is Afghanistan, with nice grassy mountains and deserts, and kicking back at the Bianxias, man. Ow! Don't ever say it like that! Do it again! Okay, Jesus Christ. And kicking back with the boys. Better? Yeah. Now, Afghanistan's history is pretty complicated, and it ended in a Taliban takeover, which is one of the worst regimes to live under. Now let's hop into the time machine, and let's explore some history. Hey, that's a cardboard box. Well, my budget got cut. This is the Kingdom of Afghanistan, a placer emptier than your DMs. Now, for the king at the time, he wanted to modernize the country, and it was pretty tough because everybody was in their clans or tribes, and they didn't want to pay taxes. And every time they tried to have a detribalization law, the people revolted. They just wanted to live how they always lived. But the mountains separated the people, and there's barely any infrastructure. But they did bring a parliament, a national bank, hydroelectric power, and a national university. And the kingdom was pretty broke. It's World War II, and it's hitting all over around the world, even Afghanistan. And so all the little modernization they're gaining had to be halted. So what should they do? Steal foreign aid from the United States and Soviet Union, which made up 30% and 50% of their aid. But the Soviets won in the economic aid battle. I mean, come on, they were right there. And Afghanistan began developing Soviet ideas and forcing industrialization on the people. But there's one problem. Everybody hated each other, they didn't know how to work technology, and they had no resources. And the planned economy was a failure. But in 1973, Mohammed Daoud Khan took over and formed the Republic of Afghanistan. So he wanted to cut off economic aid and still modernize the country, which he actually did, in which it was a bad idea. And he begins nationalizing the bank, scaring away foreign investment, this symbolizing Afghanistan as a Soviet puppet. Seeing this, the militia groups began fighting for power. Meanwhile, Mr. Lenin Brezhnev, sir? What do you want, Ivan? I'm busy. There are militia groups fighting against our Afghanistan puppet. Are you stupid, Ivan? Send in the troops. Stop wasting my time! Now, the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan is pretty complicated and intricate, and it really needs its own video. But essentially, what happened was the Red Army and the Afghanistan government fighting the Islamic insurgent group called the Mujahideen fighters, funded by the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. The fighting between these two were brutal and gained very little ground, and for 10 years straight, the Soviet Union was fighting in its own Vietnam. After the war, Afghanistan became a war-torn nation and poor, and after a Soviet pullout, it returned to a republic. Don't even think there's a central government to keep everything together. And gangs and groups began popping up. One of these groups being formed in Pakistan. They call themselves the Taliban, paid for by Saudi Arabia. On September 11th, 2001, two planes were crashed into the World Trade Center. One, the Pentagon, and the last was crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. And the target was the leader of Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden. And so many believe that the Taliban was providing safe haven for Al-Qaeda, and the U.S. demanded for Osama. And for no, not either. Not even close. For 2 decades. And so the Europeans and the United States found itself fighting in the longest war they'd ever been a part of. But in 2011, they killed Osama. He was hiding out in Pakistan, and at this point, the war was kind of hard to justify. But in 2021, the United States and allies pulled out of Afghanistan, and it didn't go too well, in which led to a Taliban takeover. And so that was the story of Afghanistan. I give it 8 out of 10 stars.